William Morrow and HarperAudio present Killer Potential, a novel by Hannah Deitch, performed by Kristen Sieh and Daru Oda. For my family. Part 1. The Cost of Living. 1. I was once a famous murderess. I killed a wealthy family, Manson style, and then I went on the run. But my thing wasn't about starting a race war to reach the land of milk and honey, or secretly wanting to be a beetle. According to the news, I was just another fame-hungry killer desperate to carve my face on the Mount Rushmore of great American psychopaths. It isn't true, but still. The former murderous thing is a fun line. I've thought about sticking it in a dating app bio. 2 truths and a lie. 1, I'm a PhD dropout. 2, I understand how the stock market works and it's made me millions. 3, I was once a famous murderess. I was also once an SAT tutor, which is how I came into contact with the family I most certainly didn't kill. One of the bullshit rules of grammar we teach, I'm using the royal we of SAT tutors, my kin, my comrades, my fellow con artists peddling horseshit for rent money, is about the difference between passive and active voice. I do things. Things are done by me. The first is active, the second is passive. Passive voice evades. It invites folklore. Crimes committed without criminals. Subjects obscured and disappeared. Active voice is better, but passive voice is useful. If you're a murderer, for example, acts were committed by me. It's easier to tell the story like this. The me is almost an afterthought. It becomes the least important part of the sentence. Now it's about the act. The victors were found dead. The victors' dead bodies were found by me. Now when I think about the day I arrived to tutor Serena Victor and discovered her father cradled in sea kelp in the koi pond, blue and bloated and unquestionably dead, I can almost imagine it as a film I watched. When I stumble upon the bloody, bashed-in sinkhole of her mother's face, I'm like a ghost encountering a crime scene. I have no material form. I touch nothing. Removed from the universe of ripple effects and entropy. I'm just a passenger. But of course, I did things. Decisions were made. I made them. Violence was done. I did it. Crime scenes were fled. I fled them. People were hurt. I hurt them. Someone was loved. I loved them. Not everything I did was bad. Just most of it. I think a lot about a story I read as a teenager. Jorge Luis Borges's The Garden of Forking Paths. In the story, a Chinese professor discovers the work of his ancestor Tsui Pen, who wanted to create both a labyrinthian novel and a real-life impenetrable labyrinth. The novel remained unfinished and unintelligible, and it was widely believed that the labyrinth was never located. In fact, the novel and the labyrinth were one and the same. The professor meets a scholar of Tsui Pen, who tells him that what Tsui Pen envisioned was a labyrinth not of space, a real physical maze, but of time. Our decisions are not choices that eliminate all other possibilities by their certainty, but a multiplication of time in which all other possible choices do exist, carving simultaneous planes of time into existence. In other words, all decisions are being carried out at all times, all at once. There's a universe where I don't ever go to the victor's house. My roommate and I drink too much the night before. I send them a text. So sorry, I'm violently ill. Can we reschedule? Later that day, I'll learn about the murders on the news, the same way the rest of the world will. I'll absorb pundits' bloodthirsty speculation and true crime aficionados' breathless Reddit theories. I'll tell the anecdote at parties. You know the Victors, the wealthy family murdered in L.A.? I used to tutor their kid. I've pissed in their toilet and drunk their tea and taught
Sample complete. Ready to continue?